Hello, 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 and welcome to Making Comics and Art,
Yay.
episode 349. So, yeah, I thought I'd do this a short live stream today. No planning, just throw it up there. Been, got more of the work on this. I'll go big screen for a second. What am I doing? How am I doing? No. Geez, my brain. This, yeah, we'll just do this. So, yeah, I got my work done on this piece. Can't get anything to work. I got to really work on myself. But
Oh, yeah. Nobody's faulting you, man. I mean, it's awesome.
no, I feel like I got to mention it until I actually get around to it.
Yeah.
But I essentially blocked out a lot of the shapes, the skulls, the leaves that surround the ivy on this piece. And yeah, I'm probably going to throw a halo around her and just fill in the blacks around her and start fleshing out, like do her line work, fleshing out the hair, throwing shadows on the leaves on her costume, and then I'll start to see how intricate I'll get on all this that's happening around her, and really it's a process of, as I do more on a piece, I get more of an idea of how far I can go. And regardless of what I do, it's going to look good at the end.
Well, that's the fun part about art. You can go like, oh God, this will be a horrible, absolute mess, to, oh, this is perfect. And usually it's the latter or gradations of the latter. So you're like, why was I worried in the first place?
Yeah. But yeah, it took me doing all this to say, oh, okay, this looks good. I see where it can go. It's kind of like when you were penciling it, and then you went in and filled in all this in black. You saw it come together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been working on and thinking about it as I work on it, and I'm liking it so far.
Yeah, it's looking really good. Like,
it looks good, really good in color.
Yeah. It looks like I'm thinking of kind of doing a weird dappled watercolor sort of color on her, but I'm not thinking of like the traditional comic book sense one, but just more of a piece. Like, I'm not really going to paint over the ink work. It's more of the background, but kind of giving this fluidity in the background. See if it works.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways you could approach it, and that's like that's what I was thinking, like when I'm making this, and like, do I go delicate? Do I just chunk in some shapes and see where it goes? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I could literally spend a week on this piece, and I don't have a week to spend on it, but.
Well, when you look at it, you like the skeleton, like its eyeball looks like it's rolling back on the right. It looks like.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool little touch. Like, so if you work with somebody else, guys, sometimes like you kind of envision the piece one way, but then like the other artist, because I do consider inkers artists, they'll put their little touch on it and they'll be like, oh my God. And you're like, I didn't think of that, but it works. It's kind of like, I think when directors work with actors and script writers, they have a certain vision of how a movie should be. And then one of the components will act on their own, not rogue, just kind of put their own little twist. And you're like, hey, that made it better. So,
yeah. I mean, that's the whole joy to me of working on comic books and working on just art with other artists, that it's the combination of all of you that bring it to the end, and it becomes something else entirely that the individuals wouldn't necessarily do themselves.
Yeah.
So we all play off of one another and enhance it and make it even better. The joy of, a pencil inker team, like if we do a dozen pieces, like the 12th piece we do together, we'll really be jamming.
Right. It's just working together. It just gets easier per time you repetitively do it or whatever. It's just a habit. That's all it really is.
Yeah. But yeah, so what else did I want to mention? Just how once I, there's plenty more, like I'll start throwing the individual shadows around and maybe keep it chaotic, or maybe give it some uniformness to it. Whether I go bold with my line work or keep it thin, it's all decisions essentially, like I make on the fly, because it's all intuitive. Almost don't even consciously make decisions sometimes. Just to do this was something I naturally do. Like, this is pretty tight. Like, as far as pencils I've worked on, this is pretty tight that you gave me. But it can still be interpreted 1,000 different ways. So I wanted to flesh out the shapes and the leaves and the skulls, and to go from there. And I gave it a little bit of chunk to it, rather than going very delicate, because I just wanted the shapes there to work off of. But yeah, so far so good. You like it, so that's good.
Well, I'm already looking at how it's looking, and it's like looking really good.
Yeah,
it's looking very good. It's like, I think if you're an artist, or I'm pretty sure if as a writer, but if you're looking at a piece and you're looking at it going like, wow, that looks pretty darn good, and you're just going like, oh wow, this looks kind of neat and everything, and blah blah blah. Kind of like, I don't know if I'm being clear. It's early in the morning for me. I'm still kind of waking up. I apologize, guys. But it's like, it's like you just kind of know when somebody lays it down, it's going to be good. And I'm not saying it because it's my pencils. I'm also looking at his inks. Because like I've seen people, like, you have good pencil work, but the inker lays it on too heavy, and it's like that kind of overweight it, or vice versa. Like, pencils are kind of hard, and the inker was just trying to go like, what are you trying to do with this? And as I said, working with Peter, it's sort of like, I didn't know how he kind of worked at first, which is odd, because you're like, oh, well, he's an artist. You should kind of, but I don't know how his habits or how he thinks when he's actually inking the thing. So like, I just made everything kind of super detailed, or exactly what I wanted, just to kind of tell him, so he wouldn't come back. And not saying that if they come back, it's a failure, but it's not like he wouldn't go like, what the fuck are you trying to do? But I think it was clear enough. And he actually gave me his notes. I'm like, oh, okay, I need to do this. I don't need to do that. Do this, do that. Okay, great. Cool.
Yeah. But that's why, like I mentioned, like if we were to do a dozen pieces together, you would give me tighter and tighter pencils, because, we'll be playing off of each other.
Right.
Just over time, it would be natural.
So what would you mean by tighter pencils? Like, I'm just throwing this out for the audience, because they may not know exactly.
Yeah, like, like the artist I worked with most throughout my career is Jim Caffury. And essentially, like, you know, I worked with him mostly on Aquaman, but other stuff, but people will know Aquaman. What you see on the finished comic pages is pretty close to what he gave me pencil-wise. Meaning, like, there was no double lines. Everything was exactly perfectly perfect.
Gotcha.
You know, and he's very accurate with his pencils. Or, you know, he used to be. When he was working with an inker. But even so, like, you know, what I did on Aquaman, I didn't change textures. I didn't change lines. It was all in the line weight. It was all in the line weight. And because his pencils were so tight, sometimes I didn't have enough wiggle room and just would have to, you know, have to do what I can. Because, like, you know, like there's systems and strategies to my thinking about how to approach certain things as far as you know, the art and comics. You know, like I usually throw thickness around, you know, like wide pots of the figures, but also, like, if there was a direct sun right here, you know, her left side would be cast in shadow, so this side would have a thicker line than this side. You know, certain thought processes that go through my brain at this point without even thinking. That, you know, like natural things. But like Aquaman, you know, like, is there a difference in line weights on figures if he's underwater? If he's battling somebody who has energy blasts? You know, like, everything affects everything.
No, I hear you on that.
Within the detail of the panels and what's going on in the action and everything. And it's like, you know, like, we tend to overthink everything, but it's just to give us a clue as to, like, how we approach everything, you know, in different scenarios.
Well, and also it's important that every artist is different, like, in general, and there is no, well, I mean, there are right and wrong techniques, obviously, and like when I'm talking to Peter about this, he has his own way of doing it. I have my own way of doing mine. I'm not trying to be like, oh, it's not nothing else. It's just like, okay, so I'm trying to understand your lexicon of how to do it. That's what makes a good working, I guess, relationship or some sort of good interaction. So it's like, okay, so you want to do that. And like when he was telling me, okay, with Poison Ivy, I'm thinking of doing the halo. And I'm like, I'm thinking angel halo. What are you, or like, you know, sometimes they do that weird shine thing in Catholic saints or something. So I was thinking that, and he said, no. And he sent me a comic page that was somebody, I don't think you inked this one. This was just a comic page, but there was like a line around Wolverine's head that was white to kind of delineate him from the shadows, because even though, like, he showed me another sample of Hellboy of Mike Mignola where Hellboy was kind of faded into it, because a lot of Hellboy is dark colors and black. And he says, I'm doing that one versus a Hellboy. I'm like, oh, okay. But you guys, I mean, we're visual. So yeah, just throw in as many examples as possible. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just, you know, like, in my head, it would work better with a halo around her. And, you know, I could always change my mind afterwards and fill it in. You know, I could even do it on the computer. Like, once it's fully inked, just go into our program and fill it all in black and see how it looks. Like, you know, we'll have both examples and say, okay, I do like this one better as opposed to the other one. You know? but yeah, it's something I do because, you know, she's a female. I want to see her lines.
Yeah.
And if I just throw black right up against her, you won't see the lines of her, you know, of her figure. So that's, you know, it's like, it's a trick I always do in a lot of cases. It's definitely more work, but I think the results are better for it. The real trick is how do you fucking color that?
I mean,
Because,
it's like, you know, you put a layer in behind it and do that, I guess, to me, at least technically, off the top of my head.
well, a lot of people like would color the halo an adjacent color. Like they may color it green because there's a lot of green in the piece. Um, they may color it the color of her hair. Like there's no right or wrong. It's what looks best in the end. And it's coloring a halo is a difficult thing because a halo is abstract. It's not it's not a real thing. So how do you color not a real thing? If you're trying to be legit, like a skull is white or gray or you know, maybe it's brown, you know, but like leaves are green unless they're dying, you know. Oh, I was also this dawned on me. We could do two pieces of this. We could do like a summer and a fall. So
you mean like the seasons? That's
it could
actually
be
not a bad
very
idea.
green, and then it could be very, you know, orange and yellow and you know mixed fall colors kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. So it was kind of funny. I was just thinking maybe doing the Italian names of each version, like, you know, I for some reason Vivaldi's fuck it was he does spring, but you know the thing like do 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 do, and he did 4 seasons. I think it's the 4 seasons by Vivaldi, and he named one like Primavera, that's spring, Inverno is winter. So it's like we
Right.
could name that season like if you wanted to do spring and fall, right?
Right.
And then just do that. I was thinking winter would be cool, but then it would be kind of a little bit much because you'd have to change a lot inherently in the picture. The ivy would have to kind of shrivel a little bit and everything. But the
Yeah.
fall and the spring work, you know.
Yeah. I was definitely thinking like I would love to see this very lush and very green, but fall would be very interesting as well. So yeah.
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. I think that would be kind of cool to do. And then
Yeah.
you'd have multiple versions of it to put as a print or something like that.
And yeah, I mean, you know, obviously there's also the just straight black and white version, which, you know, me personally, I love seeing as well, like black and white prints. Um, but yeah, so it's coming together nicely. I'll probably definitely have this done next week. I have a ton of other work, as we all know.
Right. No, I mean, of course, like this is just something fun to do, but
Oh,
I'm just also wondering too, and I'm not trying to sound like the typical person asking this, but is there a difference between male and female inkers when they draw the female body or they do it? I mean, because like when you're saying like her pointing out as its shape, and I'm not trying to make this into something that it's not. It's just, it's like, you know, if you're a guy and you're into girls, you're going to see women and draw women a little differently than straight women looking at other women. So I'm just wondering, do you see a difference? Because I haven't worked around many inkers like that, you know, in both men and women. I know them, but I've never worked with them. So I'm just curious. It's not like I'm not bringing up anything about sexism. I'm just saying, is there an actual difference? Like when they take a piece, the same pencil and put it out there. I'm pretty sure it works with people that are male and female pencilers, but I just kind of wonder because when you're saying when you wanted to bring her out and everything, yes, you're talking about an artist way, but I'm just kind of wondering, you know,
yeah.
like,
I mean, that's like, you know, just male and female artists, period. I in my experience, you know, plenty of female artists, a lot of them tend to draw more females figures and you know than male figures.
I do that. I think it's because we look at each other in the mirror. We look at ourselves in the mirror, and that's the first thing we say. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if anything, I draw more male characters because it's easier for me to draw a male. Although I want to get really good at drawing females.
Right.
You know, I know plenty of female artists that are, you know, you could say perverted to the extent where they definitely make an attempt to draw their women very sexy.
I mean, it's kind of, I mean, like, there are guys that draw like their girlfriend all the fucking time in the comic. It's not like their spouse. It's not like a bad thing. It's just that's the woman they would see all the time naked or whatever. I mean, I'm not being crass. Just they're intimate with them. They know every bit of them. So there you go.
I won't name names, but there's a gay male inker who can't really draw females.
Oh,
kind of come out looking like sort of like males. And you know, I mean, he draws them okay enough. Like the bodies definitely look female, but the faces look a little flat and malish.
right.
So he's not pumping up the female qualities, but it's passable, you know.
Yeah.
So it's you know, everybody has definitely things they lean into and qualities of their work that come across better than others.
Right.
we all suck at things, and you know, it's that sort of phrase that, you know, what you're not good at is your style in the end.
Right.
So,
I mean, you could tell it's like, you know, there's like one person that draws like the same type of woman all the time. They're not a bad artist at all. I'm not saying that, but they just do it all the time and they just change the eyes and stuff. And I'm like, okay, but from what I understand, that's their spouse. So it's like, all right, I get it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of artists, both male and female, that do phenomenal women. You know, one couple who are both painters, you know, Boris Vallejo.
Oh, I know Boris Vallejo. Yeah, his wife
is Julie Bell.
Oh, I didn't know they were married. That's cool.
Oh yeah. They both do both male and female figures that are phenomenal. So there's no, like, neither one of them has the strength of, you know, one males over females or whatever. Like, they're both really strong in both. Mm-hmm. You know, and they use a lot of photography and you know, like, but they're natural gifted at both as well.
Right.
But yeah, you know, like, I've known plenty of female artists that only draw females, you know, and that's their thing.
Yeah.
You know, I know plenty of male artists that only draw females, and that's their thing. But you know, when it comes to comics, there's males and females running around the place in every story. So you got to be good enough at both.
Yeah, like what's interesting to me is like, okay, when I started doing commissions and sketches because people said, oh, do some sketches and stuff. They said, oh yeah, what you should do, well, to draw people to your table, draw superheroes or whatever. I said, fine. And they're just studies, like they're like just studies that I do. Like, just like sometimes I look at comic covers to study the composition of what grabs your attention right now, right? Just because they evolve over time, like art styles. So I'll like play with it. But sometimes I'll draw sketches of myself and I put them all in to sell. And then people are like, the ones that sell the most, you know, are weird, are of me. And I'm like, I just did that as a study. It's like, no, you should draw more of yourself. I said, okay, so that's what overwhelmingly sells. Is if I draw pictures, and they're not like nudie pics or anything. They're just pictures. Like, I'll just draw something and just do whatever. And people are like, oh my God, that's so great. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's really like I haven't drawn a lot of pictures of myself, but that is like a cartoonist kind of thing to do self-portraits, because it's kind of neat. Like it's kind of cool to see the artists draw themselves. There's plenty of comic artists that have done that, like Jack Kirby and so many. Like yeah, that's definitely a thing. But what else do I want to mention? I guess I only wanted to go 30 minutes, and I did want to bring up the contest that you're part of, which is Face of Halloween. So I'll leave that to you.
Well, right now I'm at the lucky number 13. I always view my number 13 as the luckiest. Now you're going like, that's not great. You're not in first place. Well, it's early in the game yet, guys. We've got about how many days? Let me just check real quick because I always like to check against
10 days total, I think.
I got 7 days to go. So, yeah. So, I mean, that doesn't mean we wait because it's very competitive this time. But, I also kind of wanted to shift the focus, and I was going to stream a little bit later today, which I still will do. But part of it also is I was kind of looking more into it. Like at first I got into it. I'll tell you this whole thing, and I'll probably reiterate it again. Like I got into it. I just said this might be kind of fun. I didn't anticipate winning or have a shot at winning. And Peter just said, hey, you're in 23rd. You should just do this. Even though I just asked him, oh, Jeff, vote for me. I was actually pretty non-committal about it initially, I think, from what I remember.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, go do this. Go do this. And he was like, literally, he kind of, and I'm not saying Peter is forsaking all work. So guys, you're going to get your shit on time. But he was like going, I'll be your, it was kind of like, he kind of was my campaign manager and motivator, like, do it. I'm like, all right, fine. So I kept like asking people to vote. And literally I shot up from 23rd place to 5th. And then I hung out at 5th and 4th. And then I got shot up to 1st. And then I got knocked down to 2nd. Then I went back and forth. And then we went to 1st. And I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm in the quarterfinals, not semifinals. I apologize, guys. Like it was sort of confusing how they did it a little bit.
Yeah.
So when we transitioned over, it's like now I'm at 13. But the thing is that in this whole thing, it was like, to me, it's not only winning about the money. I mean, that's fun. It's me also winning the magazine. But when I actually looked into it, when I actually sat down and looked into it, the Starlight Foundation, which is hilarious because Gem and the Holograms, they have Starlight, the Starlight Foundation, which is hilarious. So I thought of that too. But what was nice about it is that they actually help children in that are grievously injured or very ill. And what they'll do is they'll dress up as their favorite comic characters, visit them. Or what they'll do is that they'll go ahead and like actually get like gaming consoles for them to help them pass the time. So in a way, it's like to help them facilitate and nurture their healing. They do not provide, as far as I know, medical attention. This is just in the hospital stay, extended hospital stays. And it's just to boost their morale, and it's just to provide them a distraction from pain. Now, how I can relate to this is that when I went for my Whipple, where they basically resected or rearranged my whole guts because I had a pancreatic tumor, and it was huge. It was not cancerous, but it was precancerous. It was a rare form. But I remember staying in the hospital and being really tired by just existing. But I was forced to get up and walk because bowel surgery, I have found out that your bowel thinks it's dead, so it doesn't operate. So that's why you can't eat right after, really ingest anything. Like literally the funniest thing, you have to fart for them to know, okay, you can eat. It's alive now. Also, I had to walk because they didn't want fluid collecting in your lungs because of prolonged stays in the hospital and laying around. And also blood clots, even though I'm not at the age where I could clot easily and neither do I have conditions, they want me to walk around, which was walking around the nurse's station. Like shit was so monotonous, and eating and sleeping were my only forms of existence. After a week or two, you get, even though I was not going to die, you kind of wonder if you're going to die there. And it kind of does mess with you. Like my mom was there, my friends visited, I'm not saying, and people called me and I had the internet, but I just couldn't go out. So that was kind of messing with my head a little bit. Now imagine if you're a kid and you're grievously injured and otherwise very sick, you're stuck in there for weeks sometimes. It sucks. Like you want to go, and even if your friends are there, it's not that don't visit or anything, that helps, but it just sometimes on some way reminds you, I need to get back to life. Just fuck, even if I don't leave my house, or it's my bed, it's my house, it's my stuff. And when you're in the hospital, even though you got people taking care of you and all that, you can't, it kind of sucks. You can't like go to the 7-Eleven and get a Coke or something. Like you can't do those things because by insurance or by your condition or both. Like I could not leave the hospital because my insurance would not be okay. And it was too much of a liability because of the surgery I had. And it sucks. Like also you have shit plugged into you. Like I had a catheter for a period of time. I had drainage tubes sewn onto my stomach. It sucks. So that's why. And again, I wasn't a kid. I was an adult. I had my own coping mechanism, but imagine being a kid. So anybody that kind of helps with the kids' coping mechanisms and giving them morale on top of their friends and family, I think is great. So it's like this. I say vote for me, but I don't think it's really about me anymore on this. I mean, I did it kind of for fun, and it's still fun, and I'll still do it for fun. I'll showcase things and whatever. And if I win, great, because that'd be awesome, and that'd be awesome, great. But at the same time, like if you vote multiple times, all those multiple votes that you pay for will go to the Starlight Foundation. So I don't get a penny. This is just them. Like at least show, I mean, if you want, I mean, I do care about it now. Like, I know that's a weird thing to say now, but it's like, I'm kind of jaded on a lot of nonprofits and some things because I'm just, yeah, whatever. There's a few things I like City of Hope, St. Jude, because they actually are shown to do great things as well. But the Starlight Foundation is really good. Starlight, and it's located in Los Angeles. So if you got to vote and vote a lot, vote often, do it for the kids.
It's for a good cause. And, you know, this contest is like, you know, it's set up for a lot of people to just pledge to this charity. And that's, you know, they have behind the scenes videos for people within the contest and whatnot. And you can see them, you know, this is all about the charity for them. So it's definitely going to a great cause. So if you vote for free every day, great. If you pledge, even better. Yeah,
and some of your pledges count double. So might as well.
Some days it doubles up. Like you said, there's a bunch of days left. So currently the group is 14 people. So you being 13 is second to last. But you know, like previously, you were pretty much in the same group for the whole duration thus far.
Right.
They weren't as involved, a lot of them. This group, I think everyone's involved. Everyone's jumping around. You know, like the top 5 has completely changed almost every day so far.
Wow.
And it's crazy. Like, you know, this round goes the longest, then there's 2 final rounds. Yes. And all 3 of these rounds are going to be highly competitive.
Right. So it's just, I mean, it's a little bit of fun for me. It kind of gets my shit in gear, but at the same time, it's like I'm hustling not really just for me. It's really pretty much for the charity. And I kind of have a soft spot, as I said. I never had a friend. I never had a kid or any minor cousin in the hospital for extended stay. I was personally in for an extended stay, even though I wasn't a kid then, but I can relate. So my thing is that, you know, kids are much more vulnerable. We know this, especially now. And I think this would be an opportunity to help support, give them the emotional support they need. Because, I mean, if you're really sick, I mean, that's hard enough to deal with as an adult. Imagine as a kid, like you kind of have some obliviousness, I would assume, but then it's much more scary because you're a kid. You don't have control about a lot of shit right now. Like it's your parents, and your parents may not know like what to tell you, and they may not know, or you're going to have to face up some nasty prognosis. I'm like, I had friends, I mean, they're adults now, thank goodness, but some of them went through pretty nasty shit as a kid, like leukemia and things. So like, that's something that changes you. And I think it would be good to contribute to a charity that helps a kid adjust to that, or at least does stuff according to that in a much more healthy way. rather than feeling fearful and upset and isolated. I mean, yeah, they have loving parents and friends. I'm not saying all these kids don't, but it just makes them feel like they're living as regularly as possible.
Yeah. The only time I was ever in the hospital for myself was when I was 3.5. I had an eye operation.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I remember part of it because my mom told me the story so many times, or I actually remember part of it. But I kind of have a memory of walking around the hallways, of the hospital, just like perfectly fine, but just like maybe bored out of my mind or something.
Right. I hear you.
But yeah, like, kids going through it is nothing worse. So like, it's definitely helps them.
You were an adult, or were you a kid at the time? I'm trying to remember. I think you told.
I was 3.5, so I was a full adult.
I mean, do you remember it, or do you just kind of, it was sort of like bits and pieces?
I don't know. It's like here's something that will explain it. My brother Jimmy, he's really good at telling stories. He always has been.
Mm-hmm.
He's writing a million comics. Punisher. If you haven't picked up the newest issue of Punisher, go pick it up with Dan Pinoza. It's excellent. Yeah, like we were both in some TV shows and movies when we were young, and I remember distinctly, I forget what movie it was, but he saw a movie that I didn't see, told me essentially the whole movie. And I remembered later, like, I could have sworn I saw that movie because I know the whole story. I know everything that happened within that movie. He was so good at telling me the story. It's like, I could have sworn I saw that movie.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that's like my memory of me being in the hospital might have just been my mom telling me the story of me being in the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, yeah, you were doing that, but you don't remember it. Like, it's kind of like my mom told me, when I was little, somehow as a toddler, the can of formulas, how they had the pop top and it's like that triangular thing.
Yeah.
And I somehow caught my finger caught in the small hole and they couldn't remove it.
No. Yeah.
And I was a kid and I asked her, like, so did I get an operation? Like, I must have been like younger than 10. And I was apparently a toddler when this happened. And she says, no, but the can did. But I don't remember it. Like, as a toddler, I don't have any memories from that.
Yeah.
I just somehow stuck my fucking pinky finger inside of a formula can or something. And then they I don't remember even being scared or anything, because I think I would have remembered at least the sensation I was scared.
Yeah.
Like, I remember bits and pieces when I was 3. Like, I was out in Chicago and I remember the snow and how it was all white. It was cold. And like, I picked up the snow with my hands. I'm like, oh, what's this burning, weird, cold ass feeling? And it's wet, Like, I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Damn, you folks are steady hitting my lunch breaks every day. Hey, what's up, dude? How's it going?
Yeah, we're just doing a short one today.
Yeah, but I'll be on later on, dude. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah, if you're not following Christie on her own channel, she streams a lot as well. I have all your links down below for anybody who's interested in checking out your work and what you're up to and all that. Oh, harvesting pumpkins. Awesome.
Oh, that's
fine.
Make
but
fire.
Yeah, so I guess we'll and gourds. We'll wrap this up. Any final thoughts you want to put out there?
Well, I mean, the thing is that I'm not lying saying the contest isn't important to me, but at the same time, it's gotten important on a much more deeper level, where like the Starlight Foundation does help children, especially grievously ill or injured children, in their recovery. They're based in Los Angeles. What they do is they come and visit the kids. They make them feel kind of normal again, especially buying PlayStations and letting them play consoles in their hospital beds. I was extended in a hospital for an extended stay. And so I kind of know how important that is. Like even though I experienced it as an adult, I kind of understand the monotony and kind of not feeling normal and wondering if you're going to just like die there and shit. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. That's literally how I was beginning to feel, even though I wasn't on death's door. But you start feeling that way, like a caged animal. And even though like these kids are treated well at the hospital, and I'm sure the staff are wonderful, but it's hard because you can't live a normal life. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to go to 7-Eleven, get a Coke and a Slurpee, and you can't leave. You can't eat it. You can't do those things. So, it just kind of helps with the recovery, helps them adjust better to a crappy situation, I think, which is really important because you can carry that crap around for the rest of your life. It's just, how do you want to carry it around? Do you want to help it turn you into something better? Or do you want to have it be this trauma? And I know people can go on about that, like, well, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, we kind of know better now about psychology. And I think it's better if you just kind of help the kid through it rather than let them tough it out, I mean, but it helps their friends and family because they do come and visit. I'm sure a majority of them, they do have people visit them, but it's just good for a kid to feel as normal as possible. So yeah, like go ahead and vote. And the more you vote, it's actually pledges that go directly to the Starlight Foundation.
Yes. So I put the link into the chat.
Yeah.
It's down below in the description box. Give this video a like, share it with your friends, tell people all about us, make us rich.
And we talked a lot about poison ivy earlier. We're chatting on some ideas when he's done.
Talking about collaboration and my thought processes, doing what I did thus far, and I'll probably have this piece finished next week. Working on multiple other projects and endeavors. But yeah, we all love what we do and have real passion for it. And the artwork of this will be for sale if you're interested in that as well. We'll be making color prints, whole thing.
Yeah.
So thank you all for watching. Thanks for checking this out later. If you're checking this out later, we're going to be streaming together on your channel tomorrow. And yeah, I'll be around.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna try different methods on how to stream this, so this will be even like better and better and better and shit. So yeah.
All right, everybody, have a great day. Keep making comics and art.